It's 2025, a new year, and the perfect time to turn your business dreams into reality. Maybe you've been tossing around a great idea, but haven't acted yet. Well, Shopify is how you're going to make it happen. Shopify makes it simple to create your brand, open for business, and make your first sale. With thousands of customizable templates, you don't need coding or design skills. Just drag, drop, and go. Plus, Shopify's social media tools help you connect all your channels and create shoppable posts so you can sell everywhere your customers scroll. Managing your business is easy too. From shipping to taxes to payments, Shopify handles the details on a single dashboard, letting you focus on what really matters: growing your business. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it.
This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
The Akiyama knee passed down to it by Jun Akiyama. Yeah. Takagi tried to swat it away, didn't get all of it.
Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. This week on the show, Raw finally makes its debut on Netflix, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to say about that. Also, Smackdown was 3 hours. Did it deserve it? And NXT was really, really good until The Rock showed up, and finally we have some AEW stuff to talk about. And are we lucky to be wrestling fans? We'll talk about all that tonight on the podcast. But first, I'm Paul Griffin, and joining me is the rest of the Fatal 4, the very stinky Cody.
Hey, everybody. It's me.
Not farting up a storm, you can hear him giggling. It's Pro Wrestling Noah.
I think so. It turns out I think the secret to bringing like good energy to a podcast is to just like chat for 45 minutes and then you eventually get punch drunk enough to where everything's funny. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm feeling good.
You could get drunk enough. That works too. Also here, a guy who was ready to start this podcast an hour ago like I was, B-Rob.
Come on, man. I was on mute this whole time laughing my ass off.
What a pod we're gonna have tonight.
A giggly intro we have for this episode.
The Giggle Boys.
Hey, farts are funny.
I mean, I don't know. They're funny, but not when you're like receiving them unwanted through a podcast mic. I think if people don't understand, these microphones filter out background noise, and Cody ripped so much ass before the show that we all heard it.
It broke through the noise gate.
It broke the sound barrier.
Look, I learned my lesson.
What did you have for
That's why you did it a second time.
I had a chicken Caesar salad. That's what I had.
It's all that roughage. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Good
Chicken
roughage.
Caesar salad and a water. A wada.
You drink flavored water?
No, just water.
He hates flavor.
You don't like bubbles?
No, I hate seltzer water.
What?
It's because he's a kid.
Not getting that LaCroix?
No, absolutely not.
Like,
why would I want water that burns my tongue?
Burns your tongue. Wow,
Burns
people
your
from
tongue.
Boston. People from Boston are really fucked up. The water's too hot for my tongue.
It's too spicy.
The wicked water burned me.
Spicy water.
Spicy water.
Burns my tongue. I knew you couldn't handle flavor.
Do you drink soda, Cody? Like
No.
a Coca-Cola?
No, it hurts too much.
Nope. I quit soda like 10 years ago.
Good job.
Dang. Yeah. I mean, you're better for it.
Can't quit Twitter though.
Absolutely not. Twitter's hilarious.
I don't think it's gotten any better.
It definitely hasn't gotten better.
It gets worse by the day. You're like, wow, this is so funny.
But you know it has gotten better, Paul. fatal4pod.com. That's FOUR. If you go there, you can find many different ways to help support the show and get some of this off-brand content that you're getting right now. For $3 a month, you can get exclusive access to our Discord, which all the shenanigans and hijinks really we go off the rails there. And if you want to get a little more bang for your buck, hit the $5 tier. And you can get a whole bunch of bonus content. And in any tier, you're getting ad-free content. So it's worth the value. It helps the boys out. And we would very much so appreciate it.
You really think the website got better?
God damn it,
like
Paul.
it. I don't like it. I can't make my mind up on this shit.
You didn't like it so much that you did a bunch of stuff to it last week.
I didn't like the first website, so I nuked it. And then I didn't like what it looked like after that, so I made a new one, and I don't like it now either.
High standards, folks. That's why you need to go to fatal4pod.com, FOUR, and donate to the Discord so we can get better website.
Here's the deal. If you like the website, vote with your money. Go sign up for the Patreon for $5 if you like it. If you don't like the website, sign up for $3.
Yeah.
And if you do like the website, give us more money.
Buy a shirt.
Yeah, buy a shirt. Is that shop still up? Last time I went to Etsy, it was crashing on me. I was trying to buy Sabak cards. I think all of our merch is still there. Yeah, I got beanies, hoodies, t-shirts, hoodies.
Real sharp looking merch.
Mrs.
Sorry,
B.
you're
Rob
trying to
tried
buy what, Paul?
Sabak cards.
Yeah, Sabak.
What is the Sabak card?
Oh, it's the best game in the galaxy.
Yeah, you can find out more about that on Square Circle Strafe multiplayer, which is a part of our Patreon.
I mean, I don't know what happened to that podcast. The host fucking quit.
Hey, there'll be content soon. I'm working on stuff. December is such a busy fucking month for me.
Oh, same.
Sir, it's mid-January.
It's the 9th.
If you want Noah to talk about video games, sign up for the Discord and bully him into podcasting.
Please.
There'll be podcasting happening soon.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of podcasts, Didn't Get All of It Japan dropped an episode yesterday and another episode tomorrow talking about Wrestle Kingdoms and Dynasties.
Yeah. As currently, I am wearing my Didn't Get All of It Japan hoodie that Mrs. B. Rob tried to steal from me.
Well, women do be stealing hoodies.
Yeah, no lie, no shit. She just bought 3 fucking sweater, hoodie, vests, goddamn things or whatever, but she want my shit. One, probably because it has my man Musk on it. She loves me. And she said it was very soft. She said, I said, you just bought fucking hoodies. She's like, but yours is soft. I said, why did you buy hoodies that aren't fucking soft?
She should have bought them from our Etsy where we have the soft hoodies. Get yourself a soft hoodie.
Yeah.
It's hoodie season.
It is
Fatal4pod.com.
It's hoodie season in Texas, by the way. This is the first week it's been cold.
Actually cold, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody else in the country has felt hoodie season for like 4 months. So anyway, get yourself a hoodie. Hey, speaking of hoodies, hoodies nuts. Cody, tell us about the news this week.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to.
Try to keep your ass quiet while you do it.
Somebody who might need to buy some hoodies is Bronson Reed, because he's going to be cold sitting on the bench. He's pretty hurt, guys. He provided an update on his ankle. He said, quote, "Let's clear up some things. Dirt sheets report ankle fracture or injury. I unfortunately smashed my talus bone completely in half. I had it surgically repaired with screws and fragments taken out. Also had some bone marrow taken from my hip and put into my foot."
Fuck.
Yeah.
Googling what is the talus bone?
Obviously, he was not at the Raw Netflix premiere. He says, don't expect a Rumble surprise, and the biggest loss is no Mania.
Which is exactly what you would say if you were going to miss the Rumble. Or not miss the Rumble. Actually, I think he's really hurt. I think he's poor guy.
Yeah,
Talus bone is what connects the foot to the leg, according to Google AI. That seems like an important bone. You don't want to break that one.
Don't
So
touch
that
his
means
ta-la-la.
it's according to Google AI. So it's probably like he broke his hand.
Yeah, yes.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I don't know how
Well,
you
yeah.
do that. the
That's
way
a
he
bummer,
fell.
but I did worry that there wasn't a spot. I feel like there's never a spot for him, and maybe a return angle would be very helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can return and beat up Seth Rollins again.
You should give him a Desire video. And have him return and like
Desire video.
beat up Gunther. You don't know about those because you weren't watching wrestling at the
Say,
time.
is that what they called him?
Yeah, they're great. I'll show you after the show.
Okay.
You know the band Creed.
Yes.
Yes.
You know their song "My Sacrifice."
Mhm.
Yes.
Now just pick that. Now just picture that.
just
with
connect the
some
dots.
awesome clips of a wrestler who's coming back. That's what it is.
Hello,
You know the band U2?
meet again.
They had a U2 one.
That was the best. The Beautiful Day Triple H one.
Yeah,
Oh.
they had some good ones. They should do that again. That's a great way to like have music on your program that's not dog shit.
Woof woof.
Speaking of dog shit, did you guys see this story about Level Up is going away and apparently going to be replaced by NXT Evolve, produced by
Not
Gabe
sure.
Smolsky?
I'm not sure what the difference between the two would be.
Mm.
Like, I've seen Evolve. I've seen NXT Level Up. What
Is
what are we doing?
Evolve going to be on the road as opposed to in the PC?
Why would it? If NXT's on the road, they probably will be.
Yeah, I assume it's like they record it before or after NXT.
They can't sell tickets to these fucking NXT shows on the road. They have to get The Rock to show up.
Question. Is it any correlation or connection to the promotion Evolve?
Gabe, he's producing it.
Okay, so like, would
Didn't
they
he
just
produce Evolve?
is Evolve still around? Because I mean, wouldn't
No.
they just? Oh, okay, all right. That was my question. I didn't know.
I don't think they are. We would have, if Evolve was around, somebody would have worked there that we would have heard of. If we would have been like, oh, Joe Hendry appeared at Evolve. But
I
he
miss
didn't.
that guy.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, John Cena did the promo I thought he was going to do, and he forgot to say Joe Hendry. He started doing it. I'm like, oh fuck! They heard my fantasy booking.
When he was naming people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said last week.
Speaking of people, Becky Lynch has reportedly agreed to a new contract.
Good.
Yeah, with WWE.
Oh, yeah, right.
As if anybody was confused. Sorry if all the folks desperate to see a Becky versus Harley Cameron match on Collision
No,
in the middle of
we
a
don't do
Saturday
that.
night.
You don't do that.
It ain't
Yeah.
happening.
So, Rumble return, I assume?
I thought she was going to be on Raw on Monday, but I don't know. I got to assume we get some returns before the Rumble. Right?
Yeah, you got to keep up that Raw momentum.
Yeah,
Netflix.
because Asuka's still on the bench, right?
Yeah, but I think she's like benched.
Oh,
And Kyrie just
Bench,
went through some
please.
surgery.
Well, unfortunate.
what does Becky do when she gets back?
I don't
Win the
know.
Title.
She had a good program with Tiffany Stratton last time. Could do that
that's
again.
True. Yeah, but on the main, like with Tiffany as a champion on the main roster, that'd be
She could
interesting.
tag with Lyra. They could do a tag team run.
Mm-hmm.
She could work a
Yeah.
program with Jade Cargill at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff for her.
I don't know.
There's
None of that really
established-
interests me, to be honest.
I mean, you never liked her when she was around, so
Yeah.
why would it change now?
I mean, I gave her Wrestler of the Year last year, but
No one knows that. We didn't know. You just told people because we didn't even have a podcast. You were just going around being like, Becky Lynch, my Wrestler of the Year. And they're like, whatever.
I
dude.
guess I should say 2 years ago now. But I don't know. I don't see where she fits in current landscape. WWE?
I do.
Okay.
On one of the shows.
You just have to wait and see.
Put her on SmackDown and give me a reason to watch it.
The current landscape is not great. Look at the women's programs. There's not a lot going on, so there's room for her. They desperately need something.
She's gonna come back and win either one of the women's mid-card titles.
Yeah, have her fight Chelsea Green.
That could be good.
Yeah, Chelsea Green's good.
Yeah.
Ew, Chelsea.
Is there other news that we're going to talk about?
Not really. I mean, a couple other things, but that'll be sprinkled.
We'll get to those.
Yeah,
we'll get to those in the product of the pod. So, you guys want to talk about Raw on Netflix?
Boy, do I! There's a lot to unpack here.
I want to say, as much as I didn't enjoy this episode, I loved how fresh and cool it looked.
Mm-hmm. And kind of talked about this a little bit or whatever. Is this, it was a big event, first time on Netflix, off of cable television and everything or whatever. How will they keep the momentum up after this? It's just like, because it ain't always going to be in that arena. In like
no, and that arena, arena seems
great.
Pretty decked out.
And it's not always going to have like 5 like nostalgia spots.
Thank God. But at the end, by the end of it, I'm like, all right, I could do without the red dots in the crowd.
Yeah, that was kind of
a bit much.
Just get everybody a Taylor Swift bracelet and let them hold their hands up.
The LED wall like ring above the wrestling ring was very cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they made sure to show it with the drones that had bad camera technology on them.
This might be a hot take. I thought this show fucking sucked.
Well, yeah, we're getting to that. We're talking about what it looked like.
That included. I was not impressed with any of the presentation.
What? Are you dumb?
Yeah. The drones were annoying and sucked. I hate it. I mean, yes, I know that this is specific to the Intuit Dome, but I hated the red lights in the crowd. Too much LED shit everywhere still. The new logo is not great.
New logo's so good. What are you talking about?
It's fine. It's not
compared to the old one. It's so much better.
The announce table is neat. The new
too much white. Like I don't like the white ropes.
They've had white ropes.
I know, but I was hoping they would change that and get rid of it. Like I don't know. I was just not. It did not feel as big of a makeover as I thought they were going to.
What's your opinion on the black canvas with like 14 logos all over it?
I mean,
I don't know.
For real, is just when you watch wrestling outside of this company, you tend to see that a lot more. So I'm kind of used to it, but it's just jarring to see it here.
I feel like it's a lot more though, like because in Japan, don't they usually have like
it's
like
all over the goddamn
four corners and then maybe one in the center.
Yeah, it's all over the goddamn place.
And like, this is like always had them, and WCW had some sponsors on that on the mat before. Like it's not that big of a deal.
It is funny.
I just wish they got better
the
sponsors.
Logo.
Yeah, because it's like Fortnite and Riyadh. And
hey, real American beer.
Yeah, exactly.
With one of the worst logos ever. If you looked at that, you'd have no idea what that was. Which is great. They paid a ton of money to get their logo on that mat, and no one can tell what it is.
And what was also great is the crowd response to that person.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So this whole show is...
I liked the logos on the mat. It feels like an authentic sporting thing.
Sure.
Where like before it felt like pro wrestling. And also you left out one of the best parts, which they did at the end of the show was...
No, I said, all right.
The preview for next week with all of the matchup graphics, they were all completely different from each one before it, but they all matched the same style.
And they're all motion.
All motion graphics, just they went back to the good stuff. It's insane that ever went away.
I don't know that I even saw that.
Cody, what is wrong with you?
This show was boring.
Did you gas yourself out before the show ended?
Yeah, this show was boring. Like the only thing good on it was Punk and Rollins. Everything else fucking sucked.
They put it at the end. I hated the first hour Believe it
It
or
was
not,
so bad.
Like
Like,
the bloodline.
You have like they were clearly like Michael Cole was talking about how he's going to call this show like, no one's ever seen the product before, which he tends to do anyway. But like, it was so they got off to such a wrong foot. Like, you have this huge audience tuning in. You need to show them why WWE is cool right now and why it's a massive success. And instead they didn't. They wheeled out fucking The
They started
Rock
with
and
an hour of
Hogan
the
and
bloodline.
Taker.
People like that. We don't.
Sure, the bloodline match, fine, but The Rock coming out and Triple H coming out and just like jerking each other off for 45 minutes was a fucking horrible way to start the show. I hated it.
I think it was only like 10 minutes because the bloodline
Certainly
stuff
like
went
an
on
hour.
forever.
Yeah.
That match sucked.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I thought it was odd that they went with the bloodline match as the first like in-ring action because that match is so slow. Like there wasn't any way that match wasn't gonna
The whole
be
first
slow.
hour was SmackDown, but also like Roman Reigns is one of their bigger stars for some reason.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense you put him out there and they do slow.
What do you think about those shoes?
What is fucking Nikes?
Yeah.
I miss when wrestlers wore wrestling boots. Everyone wears a fucking sneaker now.
Mhm.
Get these sneakerheads out of my ring. Put on some fucking wrestling boots.
Why do you say sneakerheads like a slur?
I know, right?
Damn.
Hard R too.
Get them out.
Rhea and Liv was like fine.
Hang on, we're just skipping over the
But-
results. Roman just
What else
beat
happened?
Solo clean in the middle of the
Oh.
ring, and then The Rock gave him the spicy peppers, and that was it.
Yeah,
There was no shenanigans, no
usual-
Rock heel. Rock was a full babyface this week.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird.
So yeah, why? Like,
being nice to Cody.
I hated that.
Who was
Like, why
just
was
hanging
Cody
out.
just?
Cody?
Why was Cody Rhodes like WWE 2K18 Universe Mode cutscene? I bought a ticket.
Yeah.
In the front row. Ass like
Hanging out with Macaulay Culkin or whatever.
I hate it. He was the most over person on this entire show.
He was.
Yeah.
He got the biggest pop of the night.
I like that hat flip he did.
Yeah, he was really gesturing to the camera in a crazy way. He knows. He knows something. Also, his brother was there.
Yep.
Kieran Culkin.
Why didn't they show him? He just won a gold.
I
Globe the
know.
night
He just
before.
won a gold. He just won a Gold Globe, and he interacted with Punk.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
posted on social media after, but yeah, they didn't show him on the show.
One could argue he's a bigger star than his brother right now.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
for sure.
Mhm.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. They haven't figured it out yet. I did like. I think this is good because of the way it's on Netflix now. The way that the commercials were done were very well paced. Like they weren't
there were
cutting
a
the
lot of
commercial.
commercials.
There's a lot of commercials every week. What are you talking about?
I know, but like,
This is not going to be an ad-free wrestling product unless you're overseas, and even those people got video packages.
why not? Like, I don't understand. I fucking hate America. What?
I mean, there's plenty of reasons to do that.
Like,
But
why
to be
do we
like-
have to sit through a bunch of fucking ads? And they
Because
don't.
that's how it's structured.
It's stupid.
Netflix is literally going into TV to sell ads and make money. That's how it works.
I'm already paying for the subscription.
Yeah, and you already paid for cable and you got commercials the whole time too. That's how it works.
Fucking
You get ads.
We are stupid.
capitalism.
All of us.
If you don't get ads, then I don't do work. So you're gonna get some fucking ads. But they were paced really well. And they're not lengthy commercial breaks. Like you'd occasionally get one on USA where you're like, this is a 5-minute commercial break. I think it didn't exceed 4 minutes ever. And that was nice. Also, the Netflix stream looks better than any fucking stream of TV ever.
It was very smooth. Yeah.
Very crisp. I had
And
no
people
technical
were-
difficulties.
People were worried about after the like Jake Paul Tyson fight, but Yeah, this was no technical difficulties at all. I thought it looked better than what I remember watching it on USA looked like.
It did way better. Rhea Liv was one of their best matches they've had, which doesn't say a lot because the bar is low, but those two for some reason don't have the chemistry that you would expect.
Yeah,
and thankfully it's over. I liked the finish with the double riptide.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I like the finisher kickouts. They made him feel important.
Kicking Dom in the balls.
I don't know. Yeah, I think she got all of it. That one didn't look like a whiff of a low blow. She swung that leg hard.
Yeah, that ruled. What do we think of The Undertaker?
I don't like to think of the Undertaker. I hate it.
I was upset that he didn't give her a ride on his motorbike. I would have did that.
I'm glad that he didn't because I don't want that visual
Yeah.
of her riding backseat to the Undertaker.
Like, I
mean,
understand why they did it, because for people who haven't, watched since the Attitude Era or whatever, they go, "Oh, The Undertaker, I remember that guy. He's on his little motorcycle." But
Yeah.
I think, like, people who are watching from week to week definitely, like, Rhea does not need the rub. She is one of the most over people on the
He
roster.
was getting the rub from her.
Yeah.
To us, that's like, oh wow, Rhea's endorsing the Undertaker. But to like a guy who's never tuned into this or is like vaguely aware of the Undertaker, they're probably like, oh, he's endorsing Rhea Ripley. So if I tune in next week, I have a reason to like her because I don't know. I see why they did all of it. It makes sense.
Okay.
That doesn't make it good.
It was the badass next to that ass.
I don't think we have to worry about this next week.
I hope we don't have to worry about it ever again after this.
Probably don't. Unless they do like an anniversary show. But
They should.
yeah.
This show made me turn into B-Rob. I hate the fucking old people.
You're black? Come on, man. You're gonna
Don't
have
give
to
them
eat
that.
more. You got to eat more spices.
Don't he can't handle it.
Yeah.
Here, was that a question or a statement? Like, are you knighting me?
No, I'm not doing that. No one man should have all that power.
Can I say it?
No. Oh, you did it, you motherfucker. Fucking stupid ass shit, man. I hate culture.
Cody, he might be.
Culture.
Fucking stereotypes. Never work in my favor.
I think that was Cody though.
I know it was. Because I religiously change my batteries just for this fucking reason.
Speaking of culture, I do like the idea that B-Rob's changing his batteries every week, 30 minutes before the show starts, just in case. Travis Scott escorted Jey Uso to the ring,
Smoking a blunt.
Yeah, ripping fat clouds.
Which I know that they said they weren't going to change their product that much to be.
Come on now, that's like
it's weed. It's not a big deal, but like this would have never happened on USA, and it never would have happened under a Vince
drastic
program. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
The visual of
yeah,
Travis Scott coming out with Jey Uso was very cool.
it was. You know, I don't really care too much for his music or whatever. I mean, I don't have nothing against the dude except for
Because of the
people that-
woke.
Well, no, I mean, it's just I thought that was cool. Motherfucker had a beer, a title belt, and a blunt, just like any other wrestling fan.
So yeah, that was neat. Then Jey Uso had a very match with Drew McIntyre, which we do not have to talk about. And then Hulk Hogan showed up, and everybody was happy.
Oh my god!
Everybody was happy to see him.
So
both
happy.
sucked and was great. The spot sucked. The reaction to the spot was great.
I do
loved
wonder. I know that he's been getting this reaction,
I
not to this
know.
degree, but he's been getting this. Like, there's been a noticeable group of the audience, and I'm not talking about specific people, but like a portion of the crowd does not like Hulk Hogan. and that's been going on for quite a while now, but it's never taken over like this has. And I do wonder if that was enough for the company to be like, you know what? We don't need him.
They did this to him at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah.
There have been multiple times that this has happened where they cart him out and people boo the shit out of him.
You don't think that the MAGA tour revitalized his career?
Exactly. There's no way that they thought that they would bring him out and he would be cheered after he wore a MAGA Powers shirt at the GNC, and this show happened in LA.
But
now,
Trump
question.
won, so maybe they did think that he's fine.
But now, question about this here, because like we had two individuals that endorsed that man or whatever, like full hog and shit. So it's just like that shows you how much of a piece of shit this dude is, because they cheered and applauded the fucking Undertaker.
That's because the Undertaker hasn't been caught saying the N-word. You know he says it, but he hasn't been caught saying it. I think it has more. I don't think it has anything to do with their politics. I think it has everything to do with Hogan being a racist.
And then it's not like, I don't even think, because like, you know, people can say the N-word and, you know, redeem themselves or whatever, but it's just the thing that he did after the fact. Oh, just like not fucking apologizing, just saying, oh, just be aware of your surroundings, and just like, because you never know who's fucking recording you. Motherfucker didn't say sorry.
Yeah, that's not the lesson there.
His excuse was, you don't tape people. Everyone's on their phones. I don't like that.
Sorry, son of a bitch. My homeboy Nick was there or whatever. He was on the hard cam and shit. And I was just like, soon as Hogan came out, because like we had the same situation for that WrestleMania, the same one Kofi won. We was there together. Hogan came out, and all the white people in my row, Nick included, I can point him out like that, they was all up cheering and yelling, and I'm just sitting down in my seat looking at this motherfucker like, he's like, oh yeah, and he sat right back down. So when this shit happened, I texted him because I know he was in the crowd. I was like, you better sit your ass down. He said, I am. He said, I called him a bitch too.
I really want people to start living in reality here, because we've already talked about Hogan longer than the amount of time he was on screen.
Fuck
and
that man.
The amount of people that I see on Blue Sky and everywhere else, there's a lot of people who go online to be mad at all that stuff all the time, from people being cordial at a funeral to anytime WWE announces a Saudi show, everyone goes and throws their fucking hands in the air as if they're just going to all of a sudden grow a moral compass as a company and start, you know, being like, no, we would never. Like, that's not fucking happening. They'd run a show in North Korea if they had the opportunity. Like, it's all business. Let's stop pretending that they're going to be your savior and your hero. And also, like, with the Hogan stuff, this is wrestling. No one's ever gotten thrown out of the industry. They would bring Chris Benoit back if they had the opportunity. The only reason he can't come back is because he's dead. So, like, they're not going to throw someone out who built the industry. Like, it's just not happening. That said, I do wonder if they think they don't need to rely on him so much.
I hope this is the one and done situation.
I mean, part of his branding is going to be like part of the show for like what, a year?
I think WWE owns some stock in that beer company too. But even then, like, whatever. Just because his brand's there doesn't mean he's going to be there.
But fuck that dude though.
Is a Fortnite character going to jump into the ring in the middle of the match?
Probably.
Is Hatsune Miku going to be there?
I mean,
cartoon John Wick in there.
Fortnite character was there, and he announced that he's going to win the Royal Rumble.
That's true. John Cena.
Hell yeah.
That was great promo. I do take it back. There was one other good thing on the show, and it was this. Cena was great.
I think he might win.
I think so.
I don't know who else is in a better position to win. Unless you like do something crazy and go out of the, out of left field with someone that's like young.
Trick Williams or something.
Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. No, Trick Williams at WrestleMania with Booker T on commentary. Winning the title. Winning the title off,
dog,
like,
why do you
Gunther?
hate me so much, man? I mean, if you just don't like me, you can just tell me straight up.
Just imagine the confetti and Booker T. The pyro going off. I like it.
Oh my god. That that raises the question though. Like, do you think you want John Cena's chase to get to WrestleMania in there? Because if he wins the Royal Rumble, then he's in Mania. But if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, then he's like on a clock. Like, oh shoot, what do I do? How do I get to WrestleMania? Do I now have to win the Elimination Chamber? Like, is that more compelling?
I think that's more of a compelling story to tell with CM Punk. Personally,
because he also wants a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he also wants a title.
Or he wants a main event.
He wants the main event. He fuck his title.
Yeah, so I think you just let Cena win the Rumble and have him challenge Gunther or Cody, whatever, and then Punk is on the opposite trail trying to earn his way to the main event because he's desperate.
I think Cena versus Cody is the way to go, and I think you have Cody win, but I think you have him win as a heel. Like, I think you do a turn in that match, and then Cena beats him next month for the title.
Interesting.
You just brought up Punk and Cena. What's the likelihood of them running that back?
Oh, they
Probably high.
They have to do it at least once.
I don't need it, but they should do it.
It's a very defining part of both of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you have to give Cena a one title reign. It doesn't have to be long.
Absolutely.
And I think you can't have him go over the new guy at WrestleMania. Like, the new guy has to win and cement himself as the new guy. But the only way I can see that happening is Cody turns heel. And he does it in nefarious means.
I don't know if they want that because he's like the
Cena
champion babyface.
But Roman's a babyface now. So you can have one of them be a heel. And then you do Roman Cody again at Mania the year after.
Everybody don't have to be bad.
I should note, I don't like anything I just said. I hate a lot of that. A lot.
I feel like we should just add that as a sting at the end of every podcast that we do from now on.
All record it equally and then put it over. We don't like anything we just said. We don't endorse what we said.
I don't know. It's an exciting time of year, so we'll see what happens.
It is. It's the most exciting time to be a wrestling fan. Punk and Rollins. Do we love this? I loved it.
I thought it was pretty great.
Nice little callback spot.
Which one? I feel like there were several.
The finish
and the the coat.
Oh yeah,
I
beat up Jack Perry coat.
Yeah. Oh, the finish being
his old ROH coat.
Yeah.
That.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was fucking around. But the Dean Ambrose Moxley fucking fall into the second GTS.
Which I feel like when we get Punk and Roman, he needs to do the same spot. He's got to complete the Shield trifecta.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe just don't bounce off the ropes and fall onto his shoulders again.
Yeah, well, hey, that's a dangerous combination when you have Roman Reigns in the ring, because if he bounces off them ropes, he's gonna come back with a spear
or Superman punch.
Either or. I mean, those ropes are deadly in the arsenal of Roman Reigns.
They should add that double GTS as a finish in 2K25.
Yeah.
Ooh,
like build up your finishers and then they can trigger an animation that does that.
Super finisher.
Although realistically, rule of threes, right? I feel like if and when he does that to Roman, Roman's gonna like counter it.
Yeah,
like he'll slip off him and hit the Superman punch or something,
and then pin him.
Yeah, it's just easy. Come off the ropes, catch the knee to the dome, and lift him up, do the thing.
I liked the match. It exposed the announce desk a little more for me, which is now like this retro, like it's got neon all over it. It's kind of fun. I know Noah likes it.
It seems a little more sturdy than...
It's a little cyberpunky. It won't break. That's the thing I don't like about it. We've now eliminated the possibility of breaking the announce desk. And I think that's a weird thing to take away from wrestling. I think AEW doesn't have a breakable announce table either. I could be wrong.
Their announce table breaks.
Sometimes. I wonder if this is one where it's like, we're going to break the table tonight, so we'll use a different one. Like, we'll use a breakaway table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe.
They're all, like, I don't like a sturdy announce table. That thing needs to be flimsy as hell.
Yeah, we just won't put screw A and B in on this side so it'll fall apart.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like that, but overall, like
They got that
the
rooms
show
to go
itself,
furniture disc.
from a wrestling fan's perspective, the show is not a great show. But from I know what they're doing here. I think this is going to be a good reset. I'm very excited about next week, especially because next week is filled with matches I want to see.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah. The
and
real
presumably Pentagon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They booked Chad Gable against
A mystery luchador,
mystery unannounced luchador.
Jose Hendry.
Or Juan Cena.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that.
It won't be that.
Chad
It's
Gable.
going to be Penta. Come on, dummies. Or could be Aleister Black, which we'll talk about right after this break when we talk about SmackDown, NXT, and a little bit of Dynamite.
And we're back here to talk about some of the other TVs that happened this week. Did any of us watch SmackDown? Is it worth watching SmackDown right now?
I watched it. I'm always ready for a good time.
Yeah, but like, is it good?
No,
'Cause it hasn't been good lately.
This was the first 3-hour SmackDown, which I thought was going to be similar to Raw Flicks, where they're like, now is an opportunity for us to put on a good show, which they chose to do neither of this week. But some eventful things happened on SmackDown. One being after the longest Naomi match in the history of wrestling, Tiffany Stratton cashed in.
Hell yeah.
I did not love this execution. Like I love Tiffany Stratton. I love her becoming champion, but I thought it was really like weird and clunky. Like I don't understand why she came out and did like the typical like tease to cash in, and then nope, like I'm actually gonna help Nia, and then after Nia wins, like she goes up to do the Vader bomb, and like then Tiffany hits her with the briefcase, and then gets out of the ring, and then who was it?
Bianca does her finish.
Bianca does the finish, right? I just felt like that was weird. Like I felt like Bianca should have just done her finish, and then Tiffany realized, okay, this is the perfect opportunity. I should cash in. Like I thought it was weird that she hit her with the briefcase, like just stood off to the side, then had her. I don't know. It just felt weird to me.
Yeah,
it's like she instinctively knew that if I set up Nia in this position, Bianca will do her finish, and then I can moonsault Nia. It was like all too perfect, but whatever.
Yeah,
it got us where we needed.
Yeah, I mean, right, exactly. She's champion. I'm excited. I like it.
I think that freshens up the whole SmackDown side too, because
for sure.
Yeah, she's obviously going to have her match with Nia. I would not do that on a pay-per-view, but we'll see what happens. The only other thing I want to talk about is the tag team title program is really weird. DIY lost the tag titles, I think. Did they lose the tag titles this week?
There's no way of knowing.
let me confirm. Oh no, they were about to lose the tag titles. They retained because teams ran in. So the Garza brothers and
they were brawled into the ring and broke it up.
Who's the other tag team involved here? It's not the Street Profits.
Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly. That's right. So these 4 tag teams are all like at each other. It's like the perfect storm for a TLC match if you want to have one. And they're all great. So like it'll be cool. Like the Garza twins, they're not twins. They're just brothers.
Yeah. Cousins.
Either or. They're just cousins. You know what? They're actually just friends. They don't even know each other. They're strangers on the street. They're not good wrestlers.
They're turtles.
One of them lives in another country, and the other one is a child.
Did you see the thing on? I think it was Twitter last week.
Nope.
Where one of the Pretty Deadlies got married or something.
They both.
And people on Twitter were like, "They're not gay."
Yeah, they're both married to. Yeah, they're both married to very attractive women.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. But all right.
whatever. I'm excited to see what that tag program does. But yeah, SmackDown's rough. Apparently it's not staying 3 hours. That was the story that came out on Tuesday or on Saturday. Was that
God.
It goes back to 2 hours like in June.
Holy shit.
So why is it 6 months of 3 hours if
Wait,
you're just gonna
June?
like cut? Yeah, it's like some crazy months from now. It's not soon. It's not like a one-off. It's a couple months from now. It's just gonna go back to 2 hours for no reason.
That's too long for show that's too long and also isn't good.
I suspect they'll change their mind by then. Unless it's like, hey, we're 3 hours going into WrestleMania season and John Cena will be on your program a few times. Maybe that's the logic.
Do you think like some of the agreement for that was because USA is losing an hour because Raw isn't there anymore, but SmackDown is?
I thought that was the logic to begin with.
Yeah.
But they got to get SmackDown good.
That would help.
It's really struggling, which is a bummer because I want to like the show that Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are on.
Yeah.
Also, the mat is blue now. They got a blue canvas.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
They got
I don't
blue
love
canvas over there. Why don't they have red canvas on Netflix?
Do you realize how horrible that would look?
It would look awful. Yeah.
It would look like most NBA games I watch.
Still stands.
You ever turn on an NBA game lately? Look how horrible the courts look.
I have not done that lately, no.
It's bad. It's really bad. I don't understand it. They should just be wood with some colors on them.
Do you play NBA game? I know B-Rob plays
NBA?
NBA.
Yeah, I play NBA. I play for the Rockets.
What?
Of course I play NBA game. Speaking of good shows this week, NXT was good. NXT was really good this week, and it made me mad that it was good because I want to hate this show. It was main evented by The Rock, which we don't have to talk about because actually you probably do have to talk about it. But we had the Julia title win. She beat Roxanne in a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me that means Roxanne's going to the main roster.
I think it has to. Like,
please.
Maybe she loses a few more times before the Rumble here, but like, there's no way she's not main roster bound.
Yeah, and goes up for the Rumble and stays.
She has to. So that happened. Then we had a storyline where Eddie Thorpe was attacked backstage and Ava didn't believe it and said, "You're wrestling in this main event." And he's like, "But I'm hurt." And she said, "I don't give a fuck. You lied to me about this last time, so you're wrestling." So the story here is that Boy cried injury.
Boy crimes.
Then there was the 4-way ladies match to determine the number one contendership between Stephanie Vicaire, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, and Cora Jade.
Booker T could not contain his fucking self.
I mean,
he's just popping boners all over the place.
Can you blame the man? But yeah, that happened. Stephanie won this match. I don't recall watching it because I was cooking dinner, but
yeah. Well, she did.
That's going to be a good match.
She
Julia
did. She did the spot to where she wrap them and bang their face on the mat and everything, and Booker T sounded like the turtle. He's like, oh.
I mean, yeah. And what else is here? They showed Triple H and Nick Khan in the crowd attending their first NXT event. Then we had the Chemical X team of Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley against Fatal Influence.
I saw a clip from that looked really cool.
It wasn't bad. Shotzi almost died, but that's kind of like how she wrestles.
On brand.
Yeah. Wasn't bad. Shotzi pinned what's her name? The one I used to like when she was a cowgirl.
Oh, Tatum Paxley.
No, Tatum Paxley.
Fallon Henley.
Fallon Henley.
Yeah.
So now she wants a number one, or she wants a title match.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the Brock Lesnar like girl?
Oh, Zarya.
Brock Lesnar
Yeah,
like girl.
I don't know. She's not on TV.
She just disappeared.
Maybe Zarya had diarrhea or something. I don't know.
Well, maybe she should call Lyra Valkyria. Speaking of boy crimes that B-Rob said earlier, I saw that The Rock spanked Ethan Page on the bottom?
Yes. he good gamed him.
Okay.
I thought that promo between them was pretty solid.
Yeah, he smacked him on the butt as he walked off camera. He was like, "Get your sweet ass out of here."
Also, The Rock was hanging out with Rock Daughter backstage as well.
Yeah,
Same segment.
same segment.
The Heritage Cup had a match, which no one needs to go out of their way to see. The only reason I want to talk about it is because they changed the rules for this one. Instead of the five rounds.
3 rounds.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was. This was just a match. They said no rounds, or sorry, 1 round, no time limits, just a match. And I'm like, great, that's how it should always be wrestled. They ditched all the bullshit. And Lexus King now has the trophy that no one cares about.
Oh, barf.
And he
Why
cried.
would they do that?
He cried like he won the world championship.
Oh my god.
Finally, the NXT Championship match, Trick Williams defended against Obafemi and Eddie Thorpe, who was not there because someone beat him up backstage. So this match was good, went on for quite a bit. And then toward the end, Eddie Thorpe comes out with a chair to try to win and ends up like Trick Williams has this match won. He chucks the chair and it hits Trick Williams, who then turns around and gets destroyed by Obafemi. And Obafemi is now your NXT champion. And I got to assume that Trick Williams is also getting called up.
But what you just said just now makes me afraid that that is juice for a feud.
For who?
For Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, and then Trick Williams leaves.
That would be the best scenario, yes. Yeah, Trick needs to be main roster bound.
I assume all these people that are going to be in the Rumble and that do get called up are going to be still sticking around for the next few weeks to have their send-offs.
Yeah.
And then after this, Julia and Obafemi pose with the titles, kind of signifying like, hey, this is who's leading NXT now. And then The Rock came out. And
He said all the cuss words.
This was so bad. Like, he announced he was going to be there, but he did nothing. He just came to talk and say hi to people. And people who don't watch this show, CW has a hard stop. There's no overruns. And it cut him off in the middle of his catchphrase.
Oh no.
Because he was just rambling and he couldn't stop acknowledging the audience. He couldn't stop cussing. He couldn't stop, he could not keep his shit together.
So
and
that was the thing about it. It's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Netflix and they're gonna say cuss words and do all this stuff, and they didn't do any of that. They kept it real classy. And then you go to the CW and it's like, fuck, shit, ass, bitch. I'm like, god damn.
Hell damn ass.
He's The Rock. He can do whatever he wants, except cut a promo in time. Apparently, but yeah. He just said, "Thank you for watching. This show is good. Wrestling is good. I like.
Enjoy your wrestling."
That's literally all he did. No one interrupted. No one beat him up. Nothing happened. No, nothing. This was nothing. This should not have been on this show at all. But on Monday, when they said that the show was happening, they said tickets were still available, and on Tuesday, it was sold out. So that's why he was there. Anyway, that's all the wrestling from the WWE side. How about that AEW Dynamite?
That
There was
AEW
some
stuff
that happened. Kicking it off real hot with Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews.
Matthew.
Yeah. Before we talk about this match, can we talk about what is going on with the commentary scene in AEW?
2 people were gone, so they just had fill-ins. They had Rick Abani from ROH and Daddy Magic. He usually do Collision and when Rampage is around, Rampage as well. So they filled in for the 2 people that were gone.
I hated it. Where's Taz? I need Taz.
You doing stuff?
These guys suck.
I do miss Taz. I always miss Taz.
Yeah. Will Ospreay and Buddy Matthews was pretty fun. These are 2 of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. And
They need to use Buddy more. He needs to be on the show more, doing cool ass matches.
I just didn't like the finish. I hate the I don't know. Just standing there and waiting to be hit with a move.
Oh yeah,
Just accepting your fate.
the like
spot.
you're gonna have to kill me kind of.
Yeah, I hated that. But everything else about this match was great. And then Will Ospreay cut like a really weird promo after the match. I thought. He first of all called him Buddy Murphy.
Whoops.
Which
He caught
like,
himself though.
Yeah, but like, bruv, you didn't even know him as Buddy Murphy. Like you guys didn't even work at the same company.
Yeah.
At least he knew his name, period.
Yeah. Basically just like put him over and said that he was great and that he doesn't need a leader. Which was
Makes
like
a lot more sense now with the news
kind of weird. Right. And then news comes out now that people backstage are under the impression that Malachi Black is done with AEW.
It's weird that the people backstage are under that impression when they could just like find out for sure. I hate the way people leak stuff and the way that these reporters say things. I guarantee you, Sean Ross Sapp was not told people think he's gone. Like, they know if he's there or not. They know if the guy's under contract or not. He's not there anymore. He's gone.
Depends on who
That's
leaked
the
it.
story.
If it's just the guy who like changes the trash cans backstage that leaked it, maybe he doesn't know for sure. Maybe he was
Who the
just like,
fuck
"Hey,
is that?"
I haven't seen that guy with all the tattoos recently. Wonder if he's done."
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would watch SmackDown maybe or Raw to see if he shows up.
Yeah,
Because also, like, let's be real, the dude's not there anymore.
Yeah, but like, even if, this wasn't a thing, people were talking about, speculating, he probably wouldn't have been there anyway.
So
my assumption is like maybe there's a possibility he gets re-signed. I don't imagine they want him, especially if that promo has taken place already. I think the implication is this guy's gone.
yeah, that it felt very much like a not necessarily a dig at him, but just kind of like a see ya.
Yeah, a tease
Now-
of things to come.
Now Baron Corbin can lead the group.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
I hope they use Buddy Matthews a lot more. He should be a single star.
Yes.
And I guess the question is if he does, if Black does go back to WWE, he's gonna be Alistair again, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Like I'm saying, we're not getting like a Shawn Spears situation here.
No, you'd be Alistair
I
Black,
don't
but
think
maybe he
so.
wears a cool little helmet made of skeleton.
Cool.
I hope they don't fuck up his theme song.
I just
Yeah,
want his
they
old
need
shit
the
back.
first one. Yeah, they
Yeah.
need that.
Or like something new and really cool.
Or his old shit. That's fine.
Yeah, the old shit's fine. But I told you guys this in our chat earlier this week. He had a new theme song before he left, and it's some of the worst fucking shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, I didn't believe you until I saw the video and was horrified by how bad that was. Just so generic butt rock.
I mean, but he had the coolest entrance. It's like,
yeah,
motherfucker
coffin?
rolls up out of the stage and
They-
shit.
They took it all away from him.
Take
the
it
pandemic.
all away. Can you take it all away? Oh, sorry.
Give him that song. If it were me and he's in WWE, I have him take the head off of whoever wins Shinsuke and LA Knight.
Yes, that's a good spot.
Interesting. Well, speaking of taking people's heads off, there was a decent amount of that in the casino gauntlet match that happened during this show. It started off with what's his face? Jay White, who had won that match to be number one there. And as like, proceedings went on, it got to a point where Adam Cole showed up, and then also his undisputed friends showed up, and it resulted in a very callback to, I think, one of their takeover moments. And it was just very exciting to see like Undisputed Era doing Undisputed Era shit again.
Was it though?
standing tall in the ring for a second? Yeah, Undisputed Era was good, and I wish Adam Cole was like that again. or looked like that again. But Powerhouse Hobbs ended up winning this match.
So shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, so he's got a shot at the title, which is exciting. I don't think he's going to win because they're obsessed with this John Moxley runs roughshod over the company story.
Yeah. Said he was going to make him a bitch in front of his wife. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a shot. Yeah, that was interesting having Renee come out and do like an in-ring interview. But then they also had a match to determine the number 1 spot for the first ever women's Casino Gauntlet, which is happening next week, which will be cool. And that was between Stat and Willow and Tony Storm, who I thought Tony was going to win because they are pushing her, amnesia story so hard right now. But Willow ended up winning, which I like that also because I like Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing some other shenanigans with it. They had like a after the match interview with Tony Storm. I don't know if it was actually on TV or if it was just one of like the exclusive.com shits or whatever, but like she is doing another gimmick again or whatever. I mean, she's like fresh, new upstart Tony Storm and shit or whatever. So like she has reverted back to like her rookie days and shit. So she's like, I feel bad. I lost the match. I let everyone down or whatever, but I'm going to come back stronger, better than ever, shit like that, like rookie babyface type shit.
She's constantly shaking hands with people as if it's the first time they're meeting. Like she did it with Deonna Purrazzo, who she has a lot of history with, who actually
have matching tattoos.
Yeah, they have matching tattoos. They actually had a match on Collision this week too, and I thought some of the spots in that were funny, where she was like trying to shake her hand mid match.
Yeah, they did the from the CWC thing. Her and Piper Niven did, where they fell down. They was on the mat with each other, and they bridged up and shook hands and shit.
Yeah, that was neat. And then they ended the show with a Kenny Omega segment, which Cody, could you fill this part in? I honestly was invited to play some Helldivers 2 when this segment happened, so I wasn't paying full attention.
All I remember is Don Callis came out and Kenny
That
Omega
did happen.
Okay,
beat him
so
up.
Do we like Kenny Omega's new Final Fantasy theme?
Oh, love that shit. Love that
I like
shit.
it.
Yeah,
I like that it feels so different from everything else on the show.
Mm-hmm. You should have seen it on the big stage at Wrestle King. I mean,
I did. I watched
Wrestle
the video.
Dynasty. You did? All right, cool. I like that shit a lot. But boil it down for you, Noah. He was just thank you. Glad to be back. Thought I was gonna die. They took 2 feet of my intestines out. I love wrestling. Wrestling is in a good spot. And he didn't thank the company. He didn't say he was fighting for AEW or like other people was doing.
He'll get there.
But he was saying he's trying to live life to the fullest, more or less, be the best professional wrestler that his body will allow him to be, and he wants to be out here every single week and wrestle motherfuckers. And then Don Callis shenanigans.
Well, sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad
excited
to have Kenny back. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited.
The Don Callis stuff, I guess. Yeah. Your mileage may vary, but
yeah.
I mean, they have to like finish that off. Hopefully, they do it quickly. But I'm excited for Kenny Omega to be back too. I think I hope he breathes some much needed fresh air into this company.
Did you see the stuff that he was saying about how like it was like on a live stream he did or something? But he was saying that he wishes that AEW would like book him the same way that WWE books Roman Reigns, or at least like the way that they booked heel Roman Reigns.
Do you think there's anybody in the company that doesn't say that?
Yeah, because that's a lot of money to be made.
I wish they would book me as the top star that always wins for 4 years straight.
Well, see,
and only has to wrestle once every 6 months.
Yeah, but Kenny kind of deserves it.
Yeah, he do. But like, this is the thing about that though. It's like him specifically, the Bucks and Jericho to an extent. It's just like they came in day one with distinct to where like everybody had the preconceived notion that like you fucking own this company or you have big stake in this company or whatever. So you're just going to book yourself the way you book yourself so you can just be on TV and do all this other shit all the time. The Bucks went another way and they play into it. They act ass. That's just who they are. That's just what they do. But now I think this has been a reset for Kenny to where he can wash all that shit away and actually be a wrestler on the fucking program rather than, you know, evil overlord entity that happens to wrestle here and there. So I'm excited about that shit.
You can just be one of the guys again.
One of them.
One
of them guys.
Speaking of one of them guys, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, one of them guys, specifically Paul, is going to answer the question, are we lucky to be fans of wrestling today? We'll have that when we come back.
And we're back to talk about one last thing. We haven't done this on the show in a while where the last segment's kind of a broad discussion of just something.
Open-ended.
I was watching Raw on Netflix, and more specifically, the post-show press conference this week, which, if you listen to our award shows, is one of the worst things you can do. So I was watching that mainly because I do like when they talk to the wrestlers. Sometimes something happens where you're like, that was a fun answer. Most of the times did you have fun tonight? Would you like an orange slice?
I love orange
something
slices.
like that. Like that. Most of the time, those are the questions. But when Triple H finally got out there, like at midnight, he started talking. I don't remember what they asked him, but he started talking about like just the idea of being on Netflix and what they're doing on the show, and like how they're not hiding what pro wrestling is anymore. And he went on for a long time. And the way he talked about this made me realize something that I think we forget a lot, is that Triple H loves pro wrestling. There's no fucking question. Does he do things wrong from time to time? Sure. No one's going to run their company perfectly. But there's one thing you can say is that he loves pro wrestling. And I think you can say the same thing about Tony Khan. Even if he is a money mark, you need those people to make their, someone's got to have the fucking company.
Hey, man, don't say that. You might get suspended.
Both of these guys love pro wrestling. And I don't think we've ever had that in our lifetime, because Vince McMahon never loved pro wrestling. He's always hated it. He always wanted to do something else. He always wanted to get away from it. Dixie Carter didn't. She just invested in a fucking wrestling company, and it was bad. Like, it was always business marks for mainstream wrestling. But now we have business
Actual
people,
fans,
people funding the marks who love what they're doing. And I think that's been like noticeable, at least on the WWE side, since Triple H took over. Like, there's a clear investment in telling a decent story and doing something interesting, and like not insulting the audience, despite the fact that the Wyatt family did show up and shoot people in the head. Like, they've been booked perfectly ever since, I will say. I think it's very easy to get distracted by, the usual stuff that we always get hung up on, like Tony Khan wearing a silly hat when asked about allegations, or Triple H not seeing color. Like, look, they're
never forget.
Neither of them are perfect, but I think it's refreshing to be in good hands for the first time as a wrestling fan. You're not going to wake up one day and Triple H is like, I don't want this to be called pro wrestling. How can we make movies?
Stop calling them belts.
Yeah, that shit's not happening anymore. So I'm curious what you guys' takeaway is on this. I would say anybody listening to this who doesn't believe me, go listen to that press conference where Triple H talks about this, because it's almost like when you ask someone like what their favorite thing is, and then 2 hours later they won't shut the fuck up about it. Like, he gets so dialed into what he's talking about, and I'm like, wow, this rules. Vince McMahon would never do this.
Yeah. I mean, he's right. I mean, we live in a time now to where, like, you can't hide any of this shit anymore. I mean, there's the rare occasion to where something is genuinely a surprise, but for the most part, somebody's either rumored it, leaked it, or just flat out said it somewhere before it actually fucking happened and shit. But like, the whole thing about wrestling just being a thing we all love and we can just kind of be outward about it. I mean, I'm down with all that shit. You know, it's just all right. Oh, face and heel or whatever. I mean, I wish we kind of evolve away from that, but that's not going to be something that's going to go away because you're going to always have, you know, good and evil and stuff like that. Especially in New Japan, there's a wrestler named Evil. But I have not been as excited for professional wrestling more than I am right now. And I've been watching since as far back as I can remember. I'm fucking old as shit. And, you know, we didn't always have TV back in my day. So it's just like.
And you wouldn't feel that way if Vince was still around. You know what show we're getting next week is another Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre match. If no one was saying like, I can't wait to see what product Dixie Carter puts on this Friday during the Fox box.
And you know, it's sad to where like you really enjoy this thing so fucking much. I mean, you know, you pay your money for it. You travel to go see it. You know, you talk about it amongst friends and shit. And it got to a point so bad to where people were wishing death upon a person because he was fucking up their thing so much. You know, and that's just wild to me. I mean,
who are we talking about? Because I still think Vince McMahon could go. I'm fine with that, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, how do you have somebody that can just have that much power over you, you know? And I'm pretty sure his employees thought the same thing, but like, fuck.
Yeah.
I definitely feel excited to be a WWE fan. But
you hear that though, right? He didn't say wrestling fan. He said WWE fan.
Yeah.
I mean, AEW is struggling to convince. Like,
well, yeah. I mean,
I think that might be
that
might be a too many cooks in the kitchen situation.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
got to work itself out.
Like Tony Khan is a fan of pro wrestling, but he also like the way he likes to, you know, express that is just smashing the action figures together.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to work itself out. It doesn't have a fucking 50-year or plus lineage as this other place or other places. Fucking CMLL and AAA been around damn near 100 years and shit. Right. You know, it's just, you got to give it time. And I mean, I know that's kind of hard with the time, you know, the times that we live in now. I mean, people's patience is thin and we got so many fucking things to do. Like way back when, I mean, wrestling was one of the things that we only had to do or watch and things and stuff like that. I mean, unless you was playing D&D or doing something else. But
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, that too. But, you know,
Jub Eats.
Now we got so much to do and it's just like, people quickly tune out if they're not getting what they want because we can get whatever the fuck we want. And that's why I like to watch all the wrestling. You know, if I'm not feeling, you know, WWE now, I can tune to AEW. If I'm not feeling AEW, I can just watch some New Japan. Or if I get a little wild, you know, I can watch MLW or freaking, I have options. So it's just like to be mad and, you know, pissed when this one thing isn't to your liking or they're not doing the one thing that you want, just go do something else or don't watch it. You know, that's fuck.
Rob, I think you've gone off in a different direction of what this is. what my thought was about. Like, there is
wrestling is good. It's fun.
Wrestling is good and you can pick and choose. You're doing my SNL argument where if you didn't like this, don't worry, there's more. And it might be different. But Cody, I think you were about to say something.
It's just AEW is so bad right now. It's unwatchable, quite frankly, and it's so disappointing because I agree with what you're saying, Paul, and I want to be so excited about wrestling as a whole, and I feel like I'm not as excited as I was 3-4 years ago because when AEW was really cooking and WWE was starting to get better, like. That was exciting. But right now it's just like, yeah, WWE's cool. They're doing some cool things. It's about to be WrestleMania season, so I'm excited. But as an industry whole, it's not the most exciting time.
Noah?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult to be like truly enthusiastic about what AEW's doing right now. But I mean, yeah, like I feel like WWE just keeps like upping their production and like doing bigger and more like bigger and bigger shows that are like getting me more and more excited. Like I am so excited for the Rumble this year.
What about
Like,
the
there's
next
so
year?
many, huh?
What about the Rumble next year?
Rumble next year? I don't know. They'll have to.
You're not excited about 1 p.m.
Check it out.
showtime because it's in Saudi Arabia and all the women are
That's
going to look
right.
like the fucking Power Rangers?
That's right. That's happening.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. That's gonna be a lot of fabric.
Did you see the tweet that Wendy Chu put out? That when she shows up in the Rumble in Saudi, that she's going to be wearing like a lobster costume.
She might.
Like they book her.
But yeah, I think it's they like to say that WWE is like in their second like renaissance, like they're arguably more popular now than they were in the Attitude Era, blah blah blah, all that. But I mean it feels very mainstream right now that it hasn't in a long time. Like what Lin-Manuel Miranda was cosplaying as Dominic for Halloween this year.
All right, I don't know that in 2025 Lin-Manuel Miranda is the most
I mean, look at the
pop
the
culture
crowd
relevant.
on. I did not like
was
a lot of this.
Moana too.
I didn't like a lot of the stuff that they did on Netflix Raw, but like those fans there, like Vanessa Hudgens and Topanga and the Culkin kids, like they're not there because they were asked to be there. I'm sure they
wanted to be there.
I think they want to be there. Like Vanessa Hudgens was also at Smackdown, so like,
Jordan listens to Daniel Fishel and Will Friedel's podcast about Boy Meets World, and apparently they talk about wrestling on that show.
Yes, they
often.
She is an active wrestling fan. She's friends with Leo Rush. She saw him on the Indies.
Also, I'm upset that they gave a lower third for Daniel Fishel, but not for Will Friedle. Will Friedle voiced Batman Beyond. Put some respect on that man's name.
No one knows who that is. But I mean, my point is, like, at the end of the day, both companies are run by a guy who wants them to be good and cares. And I think that's refreshing. It is very easy to get hung up on the stuff of like, this Netflix Raw fucking sucked because it was old guys being carted out and
you were right.
A lot of patting ourselves on the back. But like that show had a mission. It seems like they accomplished that mission. We'll know next week. Like, I wonder if they'll be able to. I don't know if they'll be able to confirm like how many lapsed fans have returned or how many new fans they made. But according to their press release, they doubled their audience. That's not a small number. So that's something. I don't expect that number to be double next week, but it'll be interesting to see like how this changes things for them.
Yeah, and then you know how algorithms do. Shit will just start popping up on people who don't even watch the shit and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And you might snag a couple that way.
Yeah, it's a safe time to be a wrestling fan. You're not going to be. Now, granted, SmackDown sucks. But I don't think that's like, it's because I just don't care about like anything happening there. They're clearly telling stories that people are interested in,
but you got options.
I just don't care.
I like hearing what Chelsea Green is up to, but I'm not necessarily compelled to tune in every week.
I'm compelled to watch tomorrow night or tonight, I guess, because that's when the show comes out. Because we might see Aleister Black return, and I haven't seen him wrestle in 5 years?
Okay. Yeah, Punk hadn't wrestled in 10 years, right?
What if they debut him the exact same way he debuted against Cody Rhodes, and he just squashes Cody Rhodes in a fucking match, like he did in AEW?
Oh, just run it back. Fuck it.
That'd be so bad.
Damn.
I think mid card's a great spot for him.
I don't care. I just want the motherfucker to rise up from the stage.
Yes. Give him his entrance again.
Give him his music back.
Anyway, that's the topic I wanted to bring to the table. Let us know what you think about that in the Discord, because that was not me shitting on any company. I think both of them want to do good. I think both of them have their kinks to sort out, but at the very least, neither of them is saying, how can we not do this? Which was like the key thing for WWE for the majority of my life.
Everyone involved wants to put on a good show.
So yeah, keep that convo going in the Discord. If you want to get access to the Discord, fatal4pod.com, click the Patreon at the top and go sign up for the $3 or $5 tier. You get access to the Discord, you get ad-free shows. $5 tier gets you bonus shows. You can catch our worst, no, not the worst, the 2024 year in review pod that we did with Kaz and Will Housel from Didn't Get All of It Japan, all 6 of us talking about whatever we want to talk about from 2024. That was a fun podcast. We all left feeling happy about it.
All the stars were there.
All the stars were there.
Yeah, and if you're a big broke boy, just follow us on Blue Sky or something.
Yeah, I post on Blue Sky. The rest of these guys haven't figured out how to delete Twitter yet.
I do
don't.
both.
I don't.
I think they like, you guys like the comments where it's buy this t-shirt or
I don't do that.
nudes in profile or
I don't do that.
really horrible
Tuesday.
racist things said by all the Nazis there.
I don't know. That's your algorithm picked that for you based on your
No,
picks.
no, go read the comments of like any post with comments.
Well, also like that's like Blue Sky. I try to keep like wrestle free a little bit, and Twitter is my portal into the Wrestleverse.
I have minimal wrestling on my Blue Sky, and I kind of like it. That's
kind of why I'm trying to keep those separate.
I need to get some of the politics off my Blue Sky because it's getting a bit much. But
You can list it away.
yeah, like you can subscribe to lists, which is so great. So like if you're like, oh, I don't know who to follow, you can go to the Fatal 4 Pod Blue Sky and like click a button and follow all the hosts and all the shows with one click. And you can also block all of us with one click. Please don't. But that's an option. So like you can set up all these feeds of people you don't want to follow that some kind-hearted people are just populating of, oh, this new Nazi joined. I'm going to add him to this list. And if I guess that sets people up to follow all of the Nazis, but it seems like the idea is to block all of them.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to use mine for yet. I just been posting stills and funny faces that wrestlers make.
Go back to
just post,
Walmart.
like, go back to old school Twitter where you're like, just farted. All the podcast hosts called me out for it.
Yeah, I'm start getting back into Walmart again.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think that's it, folks. We didn't get all of it this week. But we'll try again next week. We'll have new stuff to talk about because, you know, we're back to regular Raws, I think. We'll see. Maybe we aren't. Maybe we'll have a debut on Smackdown. There's so much stuff that could be happening next week. There's so much stuff that might not happen. In the meantime, for all of us here, thank you for listening. Join us on the Patreon. See you in the Discord. Goodbye.
You've been listening to a Fatal 4 podcast. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts and visit fatal4pod.com for more episodes, merchandise, and info on the Patreon.